Well, it's no joke. We're coming to you from occupied North America. I'm coming to you from FEMA Region 6, formerly Texas, Austin. We've been taken over by foreign banks. They're openly training the military to take on gun owners, veterans, conservatives, libertarians. They're publicly teaching the military that George Washington's bad, that the Bible and Constitution is bad. It's now being taught Pentagon and Army-wide, even to enlisted. That's Daily Caller today. The Bible is listed as racist and evil. This is just the takeover, and they're not going to stop. Meanwhile, we have some of the most incredible news ever. Judicial Watch, highly respected. They get FOIA documents. I've never seen Judicial Watch where they were putting out Bravo Sierra. And talking to Joe Biggs last year when he went down there to the border, we wanted to kind of do an ode to the Veritas Project, who crosses an ISIS fighter from Canada across the Great Lakes and then basically went in and simulated an attack on a public place with bioweapons. Joe Biggs crossed the Rio Grande right where he thought they'd probably try to cross because it's so easy to come in on the edge of El Paso. And he said this is the type of place that he would cross. Now, last year it was being rumored by Border Patrol and ICE that there was radical Islamicist jihadis training over there. And Judicial Watch has confirmed on both sides of the border what the FBI said a month ago. ISIS is operating in all 50 states. The FBI said all 50 states last month are infiltrated. Now, whether this is real or a false flag, they don't need to false flag. ISIS is a real group being funded and protected, but they're real crazies on the ground. But Joe ran to me about 15 minutes ago, and he said, look at this from Judicial Watch. ISIS camp a few miles from Texas. Mexican authorities confirm. ISIS is operating a camp just a few miles from El Paso, Texas, according to Judicial Watch sources that include a Mexican Army field-grade officer and a Mexican federal police inspector. Now, Joe Biggs is going to deploy in the InfoWars today down there. And we've got sources in ICE, Border Patrol, you name it. We've got sources with aircraft that are legally able to fly to Mexico. Joe says he wants to go in and try to discover the base himself. And I'm trying to talk him down from actually going in on the ground. But I bet we can probably get with some people that we know and trust to go cover this. It needs to be exposed, A. B, fortune favors the bold. And C, it's going to be one hell of an international story. We can really catch them with their pants down because we know Obama is helping fund all this with the Muslim Brotherhood and the rest of it. It's part of some larger plan. He could use terror attacks as a smokescreen to declare martial law. Joe Biggs, what's insane here is this is where you predicted that. I said, well, where do you want to go to simulate this? And he goes, well, I would come through El Paso because the military base is there. They might want to attack that. And it's just right across. And our sources say that it's wide open on the Border Patrol, and they just let them walk across under orders. And since then, it's come out that they get reprimanded or fired if they even stop them. This is amazing. Joe Biggs, we're going to, again, play this video of where you simulated the beheading right there on the border to show how it's wide open. What is your take on this?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I was stationed there for quite some time. That's where I last served in the military. That was my last duty station. And when these reports came out about a year ago, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, all right, right around El Paso, where would I come through? And my prediction was Sunland Park, which is just on the edge of that big gate that we showed you that was wide open. It's just...
They open the gates.
Yeah, it's just
roads.
It's just west of that, and it basically is just desert. And there's no gate in that one area whatsoever. It goes right across the Rio Grande, and it's at the most waist deep in some areas, and then the others, like you see in the video coming up, about ankle deep. Because the amount of the corruption that happens out there, too, the fact that they're letting all these illegals come through, and they're trying to exploit that.
Well, I've seen a lot of controlled left that poses as right-wing libertarian media, always saying there's no Al-Qaeda, there's no ISIS, there's none, when it's just rucksacks and literature, and the numbers are in the thousands every month from the released ICE numbers that have been mainstream news of others than Mexicans that are Islamicists coming in.
Yeah. Well, the Mexican Army says that they discovered documents in Arabic and Urdu, as well as plans for Fort Bliss, the sprawling military installation that houses the U.S. Army's 1st Armored Division, which is what I was a part of, and the Muslim prayer rugs were discovered with documents during this operation just a week ago. So they're finding all this stuff. It's happening. It's right at the border. We've been saying this forever, that this is so unsecure. Meanwhile, we have all these people with technology who are bringing it to to Washington saying, hey, we've got these ideas. We've got this technology that can help secure the border, and they were rejecting it all.
And let's go further. This is the Washington Times today. Terror targets. U.S. troops urged to keep low profile, avoid military slang in public. So they're telling them secretly attacks are imminent. The FBI says they're in all 50 states. But in all these military drills, including the dirty bomb drill you were banned from, we get the video, and it's training to take on gun owners and patriots. They admit it was a drill, I guess, where we supposedly dirty bomb. So we're the threat, not ISIS that Obama helped fund.
And they're letting them come through. They let ISIS come in, and they restrain us. They practice, and they try to set up all of these programs within the country to just make us look bad. You know, these guys are...
All these movies where the Patriots are going to blow things up.
Yeah,
or is it pedophile?
it's mind-blowing. I mean, like I've said before, when you go and fight for a country, I mean, you're willing to sacrifice your life because you believe in something. And to come back and to find out that you are now a bigger threat.
You're now listed as the #1 terror threat, Joe. You are listed as the #1 enemy.
It's disgusting.
Well, you know why? Because you're willing to stand up against it.
Yeah.
They know you're willing to go and expose what's happening. You are the enemy. I mean, it's just because we're not traitors. We're bad. We're not here to just be told what to do and have our destiny controlled by a bunch of criminals that want to abuse us. We don't want Obamacare. We don't want to turn our guns in. We don't want to have 100% taxation. We're bad because we have some free will. All right. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real deal. Let's go to him and our crew. Who went with you? Josh Owens last time. Yeah. Tell you, that guy's always in the thick of it. Here's their report from the border, exactly what's now happening.
InfoWars investigates just miles from the center of El Paso, Texas, where we were able to cross the river from Mexico into America. Thousands of other than Mexicans cross our borders from over 75 different countries. InfoWars has shown you time and time again that our borders are intentionally left unsecured, and now these ISIS psychopaths are ready to strike at targets on American soil. We know our government has created and funded ISIS, so whether or not this is a real threat or a false flag, the globalists are now one step closer to their endgame, stripping us of all our liberties. So we dress up like an ISIS jihadi to be as obvious as possible, to show and to illustrate just how wide open the border really is.
Thank you, Obama, for leaving your southern borders open so ISIS can terrorize America. ISIS thanks you, President Obama. We claim this land for Sharia law.